Okay, for Cecilia to survive this birth, she cannot roll the numbers 1, 2, or 11, because it's her first baby, and I made a mistake and nobody was there, so... Oh no! Oh no, this... Oh no. This is all my fault. Oh my gosh, I messed everything up. Oh my gosh. For the baby Oswin to survive, he cannot roll the numbers 1, 5, 7, 10, 12, 15, 17, or 20. Oh my gosh, we lost them both. Oh my gosh, no. Sul, hello, and Lavas. Welcome to another episode of the Payne Family Ultimate Decades Challenge. We are currently in the year 1356. It's day 1. And as you saw from the intro video, well, disaster has struck. I don't know what else I'm supposed to say about it. At the end of the last episode, unfortunately, Cecilia did not make it through her role for the birth. The baby also did not make it. It was a son, and I don't really know where to go from here. I know that I've been terribly indecisive lately, and I kind of blame myself for the fact that this happened, because I feel like if I had not been so indecisive, we wouldn't have ended up in that position. It wouldn't have happened that way, and she would have had... Oh, thank you, Marion. Marion is such a good family friend. Like, she just is always there for us. She knows about loss pretty sincerely. Edgar is obviously pretty upset, to put it mildly. He thought that he was going to marry Cecilia and that they were going to spend the rest of their lives together. And now he doesn't really know what his future is going to look like, you know. Not only did he lose the person that he thought he was going to marry, but now he's also lost his first child. So I think he's a bit lost, like me. He blames himself much like I do. And I don't know, we're just gonna have to see how time goes. I have had some time to process it, obviously, because for me, I rolled and found out at the end of the last episode. So I've known for a little while now, but I still don't really know what that means about where we're going with Edgar at this point. At the moment, Edgar is kind of like putting a brave face on and just doing his work. He's just keeping his head down and doing the best that he can to just keep moving, but he is incredibly depressed and doesn't really know how to move forward from here. He and me both. Kenrick, a lot of you have commented and said that you think that it would be a good idea for Kenrick to go off and to work for Audrina and to help her out there so that she has some help. And I think he will, but he doesn't want to go just yet, not when his brother is dealing with all of these losses. Esmond really wants to be able to talk to Edgar and sort of like support him through all of the pain that he's feeling right now. But Edgar is kind of denying everything. He's kind of pretending, he's shoving everything down. He kind of is just trying to keep going. And the way that he sees that is working for him is if he just pretends like everything is fine. He's just kind of slapping a reasonable face on top of everything and pushing through. So I think that, like, he doesn't want to talk about it with anybody right now. He is feeling too emotionally vulnerable to talk to anybody about it, and he doesn't want to confront everything that's happened, is kind of my take on where Edgar is at this moment in time. Lucia knows that something bad has happened, obviously. She knows that Edgar is in pain, but she doesn't really know what she's supposed to do or how to support him through everything that he's going through. So she's just kind of trying to stay out of the way, just keep to herself, and hope that that is helpful in some way. She's so young that I think she doesn't really understand what's going on. She just knows that something bad has happened. And like I said, Edgar's just really not in a space that he wants to talk to anybody about anything, so he's not interested. Kid, I told you to please cloud gaze. He's just not in a place that he cares to engage with other people about what's going on. How are you a Jacobson, werewolf? Neither of those are Jacobson surnames, so I don't know. What do I know? Kendrick, when you get a second, do you mind terribly hatching that egg for us? Now, since it's the beginning of a new seasonal year, because we're back at spring, that means that we do have to re-roll for the Kingly Visit, and we have to re-roll for our gardening lot traits, which I'm excited about. Luckily, last time we only got like 6 or 8 plants that went down to Crop's Blight, so we got really, really lucky. But hopefully we get a better trait next time. Although, I mean, in fairness, we've been pretty lucky with all of those things. Will you please equip your little basket? And Kenrick, will you please... Where's your basket? I know you have one. I just gave one to you not that long ago. Fine, you can take your brother's. Will you please use your basket? And then the two of you, would you please go to the forest and go foraging together, please? Oh, Marion's welcome to go if she wants to. Yeah, the three of you can go together. Nice little unit of people. And yeah, Edgar has like some positive moodlets going on, but he is overwhelmed by sadness and just kind of keeping his head down and doing what he thinks he has to do. To be honest with everyone, I did double plead for Cecilia. I pled for her once when I was filming the machinima, obviously, and Grim said no. And I said fine, but if he says yes when I plead for her in this strand of the universe of reality, then I was going to bring her back, and he said no in this one as well. So it was kind of, Grimm really wasn't willing to give her back to us. I feel like Edgar kind of has original Darius vibes going on at this moment in time, because like original Darius was kind of cursed. Everyone around him and everyone he loved had really bad roles. It's just that he was often able to plead and to get them back, but Edgar hasn't really had a chance to plead and get anybody back, I guess, but except for Cecilia. Basically, original Darius was completely plagued by bad luck, and I don't know. I feel like Edgar is kind of going that way as well. The big issue as well is that I feel like we actually really need a grown female around here. Like, that was the whole reason Audrina and Harper moved out, is because Edgar was supposed to be getting married super quickly, and Cecilia was supposed to be coming in, and they needed the space for their own family to grow. And, that way Cecilia would have had a chance to begin being like the female head of the household. But now... Now what, Like, now we still have no female head of the household. Lucia is not going to be a teenager for, like, a literal million years. And so I just don't know where that's going to leave us. Edgar's also getting quite a bit older now. Like, only 2 weeks until he has his young adult birthday, so he's well past the point that he could have gotten married and started his own family. So I don't know what to do. I don't feel like he would just rush into another marriage. I think that he really loved Cecilia. Well, we know he really loved Cecilia. They had completely full romance, completely full friendship, and he's depressed by losing her, and I don't really know how to move forward. So you guys are gonna have to let me know what you think. Something that was kind of interesting, though, that I couldn't help but notice when I was playing as Cecilia for everything that happened is that she actually had a pretty decent romance with Petronilla. She had like a half romance with Petronilla, so I don't know what was happening behind our backs between the two of them, but I thought that was kind of sweet and charming. Oh, you guys are back. Fantastic. Yeah, you can, say goodbye to Marion. Would you come and apply some facial cleanser and wash your hands? You're really, really stinky. And then you can grab a serving, and you can come grab a serving too, kiddo. You guys are hungry, and you can unpack your baskets as well if you don't mind. And you can grab a serving too. Poor depressed Edgar. Now Kenrick does have a new group of friends, his own group of friends. Some of these are gallery sims that were shared by all of you who have been placed in the world. Some of them are some old people who have run around. But Kenrick has some new friends, mostly because I wanted him to get a feel for other sims and see who he was attracted to and stuff like that. And I can tell you it kind of actually was a shock who he's attracted to, because he's basically not attracted to anyone. Like, he thinks pretty much every single female he's met is basic looking. Okay, every so often he's like, okay, you're attractive, I guess, but for the most part, everybody is basic looking or unattractive. He doesn't really have any strong feelings towards anyone, except for, I guess, he finds these older females who have been friends with Edgar for a while. He finds them more attractive than anybody that he met recently. Oh, congratulations. Can you please pick up all 4 servings? Is there anything else that we can make? I don't really know why we would need oats. I know that we need flour. We always need flour. I'm gonna invite over Kenrick's group of friends. I think that he just, I don't know, he wants to get a bunch of people together. Maybe deep down he is hoping that Edgar will meet somebody that he feels some kind of way towards, like trying to kind of band-aid over the top of it. Maybe he just doesn't want them to have to be alone in another time of loss. You know, they've gone through a lot of loss as a family already. Maybe he thinks that Lucia might meet somebody who could be her friend, who knows, but he's gone ahead and invited everybody over. And on your way back, do you mind cleaning this and giving them food, and you can tell them a story? Lucia, you got the eggs earlier. Did you find anything? Oh, wow, we got a lot of stuff from foraging. That's pretty nice. And Lucia, my sweet little friend, would you mind kindly... I wanted you to stargaze so that we could at least get one of your 2 pictures well inspired over with. That would be pretty handy dandy. Oh my gosh, Edgar is literally just standing over here. He's tired, he's lonely, and he's depressed, and instead of doing anything about it, he's just kind of standing over here staring into space and idling. It's so depressing. Ooh, are you talking to somebody? No, you're just thinking about birds. Okay. Oh, dearie me. Oh, good job, Lucia. Could you go ahead and draw some shapes? Overnight, once everybody has left, we're gonna go ahead. Actually, Edgar, do you mind at least saying hi to everyone? It's polite. And that way Edgar can say, oh, hello, Caleb. You know what's so funny? I was just poking around the world because I was doing some stuff in the background earlier, and Caleb's actually moved autonomously. I couldn't talk over my own tongue. Caleb's actually autonomously moved to Oasis Springs, which I thought was kind of funny. I was like, what are you doing in Oasis Springs, silly bones? But anyways, have you said hi to everyone? Just been friendly? Okay, good. Now that you've done that, now you can go to bed, okay? Well, if you want to chat with them, you're welcome to. I'm not going to stand in your way. But yeah, overnight, I think we're going to go ahead and head over to another household to see what's new with them. We haven't seen them for a while. It's Beatrice's tiny little family, which is actually why it's funny that Caleb was just here. Because, of course, Caleb is her father-in-law. Isn't that right? But yeah, we'll go over there and just kind of see what's new with her. It's been a long time since we've seen her or known anything about what's going on with her, so we'll go ahead and end the gathering. These are just some new Sims around the world. Some of them are old faces like Kale. Kale, what was your last name? Oh, Greystroke. Oh, and Brent Greystroke. I don't think they live in the same household. Anyways, they're gonna all go home. Kenrick's got his new group of Palos. And we're going to go ahead and leave these guys here for now. We'll be back with them tomorrow. But in the meantime, we're going to go over to Beatrice's just to see what's new with her. So I will see you when we get there. Okay, so here we are at Beatrice's home where she lives with Vampire Boy, also known as Wesley Martin, also known as Caleb Vitor's son. If you don't remember, Beatrice is the last surviving daughter of Esmond and Heidi. And she is somewhere in France at Caleb and Wesley's property. And she has been here for a while, ever since she met him as her soulmate. And just today, they welcomed a new baby into their world and into their lives. Things have changed for Beatrice since the last time we saw her. She is a somewhat different person, and she and her daughter, because this is a girl baby, survived their roles totally fine, partially as a result of the changes that are new to their lives. So a few years ago, I mentioned about how Beatrice and Wesley had been getting into arguments lately. Do you guys mind sitting together here, actually? That would be so cute. So they had been arguing about some things related to their lives. First of all, they hadn't gotten married, which was, I mean, neither here nor there. Neither of them were in that big of a rush to get married. They are married now. However... Oh, you can kiss each other if you want to. However, as you may remember, Beatrice was of course human and Wesley is of course a vampire, but a few years ago, they were kind of thinking about the future, and Beatrice was thinking about the fact that her adult birthday was coming up, and she was thinking about all the people she had seen pass away in life, all of the people who she had seen go to war and not come back, the women who had had children who hadn't survived, all of the people that she has, lost or seen lost to the sands of time. And she was thinking about her soon-to-be husband and thinking about what would it be like to leave him in this world all alone. And she couldn't bear the idea of him having to go on after her death, especially because he already is so emotional about everything already. Like, he already struggles a lot to be happy in life. He's very emo. That's all I can say about it. He is, depressed about being a vampire. He doesn't like being a vampire. He wishes that he weren't cursed to this eternal existence. And Beatrice didn't want him to have to go through losing her and carrying on. She didn't know what kind of a life that would lead him to have, and she didn't know if he would change or, go down a dark path if she did. So she decided that she wanted to be a vampire. She figured she could then keep on helping out with the war efforts, keep on helping people when possible, keep on being a midwife, put all of her training to good use. And so she wanted to sort of live on for longer than a normal lifespan in the hopes of putting more good out in the world, and also in the hopes of supporting her partner so that he wouldn't feel as lonely and as lonesome. And so she really wanted to become a vampire. Wesley did not want her to become a vampire. He thinks it's a curse, but he, said it's your body and it's your choice. So if you want to be a vampire, of course, I will support you. And so now Beatrice is, in fact, a vampire. And that's how things are. And I imagine that their daughter, Celine, is also probably a vampire, since it was two vampires who had one daughter together. They are so in love, though. I can't believe that they only get the one baby try when they're like super duper duper in love. But unfortunately, that's about all the time we have to spend with them today. We'll pop in on them every so often, and I think we'll see them in the background a lot more going forward as they sort of like look out for their family and loved ones. So for now, we'll leave these guys here and we will head on to the next household. Okay, so here we are at a house that we have not been to for a while, because it is the former Nilsson house, so the house of Sophia's very first husband. It should have, after her husband died, gone to his oldest son, Ivor, but Ivor, as you may remember, disappeared under mysterious circumstances. And so now Sten is the last surviving son to be able to inherit it, and he's currently just standing here in a towel. I don't know why, but that's what he's doing. So yeah, this is Sten's little home. Sten, do you mind actually making some food, please? You're not a very good chef. I don't trust you with the oven. In fact, I don't think you have any cooking skill. Yeah, no, only mischief. So Sten, as we saw last episode, has now aged up to a young adult. So far, he basically hasn't really gotten started on his life. He was in kind of some flirtationships with other Sims around the world, other women, but he hadn't really, whoopsies, he hadn't really started fulfilling his storyline, for lack of a better word. But now that he's a young adult and he's moved out, he has taken steps forward to become the Sim that he rolled to be. Sten, if you don't remember, is a kleptomaniac who is also mean and self-absorbed, but wants to be a serial romantic. He rolled to have 8 baby tries, yet never marry. And in the comments, it was suggested that he would prefer, it appeared, women who were unavailable, so that they would basically be living in another household and have to raise his children for him, and he would never have to be responsible towards them and never really sort of like face up to the consequences of his actions. And I think that that seems like pretty true for him. I think that that also makes sense for him. So Sten has been leaning into that. At this point in time, he's in unofficial relationships with 2 different women, and their situations are a little bit, I don't know what to say. Let's invite over Bodil first so that we can all see her. Hopefully she'll come over. They don't have the very best relationship of anyone. She is kind of a neighbor, and they've got a little bit of romance and friendship. They've known each other for a while. Bodil, can you please change out of this outfit? Sten, it's just, I don't know what you're doing. Now you can invite her in. So, for a while, Bodil was living with Irma, Irma and Henrika of Narva. However, now she has recently gotten married. You can ask about her prized possessions and propose a crazy scheme, and there was the first sort of like attempt. Nice way of sitting you two. So she recently got married to the local administrative official in this area. So she's married to a man who has power, essentially. However, she and Sten have kind of been having a little flirty for a while, where he, I don't know, he kind of like pulls the wool over her eyes a little bit, and she kind of falls for it. She's a bit younger than he is. Maybe thinks the best of him, even though he is not the nicest to her. Ouch. Wow, that was awkward. That's never happened between the 2 of them before. Hey, come back here. She just today actually was pregnant and had his child today. Maybe that's why that went really weirdly, is because she's like annoyed that he hasn't even asked about their child together. So she and Sten have been seeing each other for a while, but the administrative official actually believes that the child that was born is his own, not Sten's. He has no reason to suspect that they are involved so far, which is good because if it were to be found out that Sten is sort of like, you know, hanging around with the administrative official's wife, then I think those would bring up some pretty bad consequences for him. And especially because his family is under so much suspicion already, I don't think that that would go very well. So it's going to be important to him that this one stays under wraps. But of course, he's only a part of the, I don't know, calculation of how under the wraps this all stays. Do you feel better now? Nope. He's actually being pretty nice, but I think that's because I'm the one who is controlling him. Oh, yep, and there. She feels fine, so he's gonna be like, hey, do you want to go spend some time together? Sten, it says that he knows about the new baby because he's coded to, but I don't think he actually really cares that much about the new baby at this moment in time. I think that it's just not really his priority. His priority is to hang out with some women, to, I don't know, feel like he's a big deal and make himself feel better since he's self-absorbed, and to kind of, you know, have a good time. I think that he's a good time kind of guy. And so for now, and while he feels that way with these two women, he'll continue seeing them. But I don't know that he will commit to either of them at any point in time in any way. We'll just have to wait and see. Cat? Where? I hear you, but I don't see you anywhere. Now, Bodil's child, well, I guess Sten and Bodil's child, didn't survive the role. Bodil did. She's fine. So yeah, he will hang out with Bodil for as long as it's convenient, and as long as she kind of strokes his ego, and as long as he feels like it's all going his way. But he won't really stand up for her. He won't really commit to her, and he doesn't have any intentions on this becoming a long-term situation. It just is what it is for right now, which is obviously not an ideal way to treat other people, but that's just who Sten is. That's how he rolled to be. That's what his destiny is. So now that he's kind of gotten his way and he feels like his ego's been boosted, I think he can give her a first kiss and then say, see you later, dude. Bye-bye. Yep, that was their first kiss ever. Their first proper kiss. Even though they've already had a baby together. And then he's gonna say, see you later, lady.
No, Flamon.
Be sure to tell your husband that I'm a really great friend, okay? And that's that. He's going to go to the bathroom, and he's going to wait for her to leave, and then he's going to call over his other friend so that we can meet her. Bye. Bye, 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 bye. We need you to leave, please. We need you to leave, please. Bodil, please. Bodil, please. She was shared on the gallery. I'll pop up the creator's information here. She's been in the save file for a while. I was really hoping that she would have ended up with somebody. She's so cute. But she kind of never ended up with anybody, never really instantly connected with anybody, and so she ended up over here. Bodil, we really need you to leave, please. Thank you. Bye. Sten's not trying to like ruin his casual relationships with anything like commitment or jealousy. Like, he wouldn't be against the ladies that he's seeing being jealous of each other. He just doesn't really care for any kind of inconvenience for himself. That's what I'm really trying to say. Now, this is Sten's other romantic interest, Anastasia. Anastasia is a sim who lives on the edge of town, and Sten thinks that she is very attractive. He's very attracted to her. However, He, once again, does not have any interest or desire to commit to her long term, and he knows for 100% that he will probably never be put in a position that he has to do such a thing. Excuse me, we were trying to hang out together. Anastasia, who's crying over here right now, is in fact the executioner's daughter. I'm sorry, I have to change you because this is relevant to what I'm saying. Please stay in this outfit for me. So she is the executioner's daughter, and that means that she and her father live on the very edge of town. Executioners were often sort of like socially shunned. It was believed that they kind of had badness inside of their... Oh my gosh, why is she angry? Compliment her appearance, maybe. Quick, quick. People were kind of scared of executioners. In a walking tour that I heard... Oh, she asked him. Interesting. In a walking tour that I was on, either in Poland or in Latvia, it was said that people believed that if like the executioner's hand touched you, that would pass over some like bad juju or like a curse or something. So I don't have any other evidence of that aside from that walking tour. But it was supported by other things that I saw or heard about how essentially executioners were ostracized from the societies that they lived in. Like, people didn't want to drink from the same cups as them. They had tables out at places that you could eat that were dedicated to just them. They had to live away from regular people. And so I've interpreted that as people don't really want to marry into the executioner's family because they think that they've got some like bad energy or whatever. And they also think, it's an inherited job. Typically, it would pass down from father to son. Oh my gosh, again? She is Sten's kind of gal. He finds her so attractive, very attractive. Why is she upset with him? Well, I guess he is mean to her all the time. He is really mean to her. They have a really strong romance, but like their friendship is non-existent because almost every time he sees her, he's just immediately super rude. What time is it? 3? Okay. She's wearing a very particular outfit, which is like a dual tone dress, because I saw that often pied clothing was associated with executioners, and pied, as far as I understand it, which my understanding could be flawed, I didn't really look into it that much. Pied means just clothing that is multicolored. So any kind of clothing that's multicolored would be pied, but often that seems to be connected to executioners. You can call to a meal if you want to. The issue for Anastasia and her father is that he never had a son, so there's nobody to pass down the profession to. But even executioners' children were often people who struggled to get honest work because other people didn't want to hire them in case they brought all of that bad energy with them. So Anastasia doesn't really have much freedom. She is kind of stuck in this position that is a hereditary position. And Sten is not against sort of taking advantage of the fact that people won't, well, he believes that people won't force him to commit based off of these interactions that he's having. So he thinks he's pretty safe with his relationships with these two women, regardless of the consequences. Because Bodil's husband will think that all of the children are his, and Anastasia can't do anything, or her father can't do anything to try and force him to commit. So he thinks he's pretty safe with these decisions, but whether or not he is neither here nor there. Oh my goodness, I think that she's pregnant too. So that means Bodil just had a baby and now she's pregnant as well. Oh, Sten. Sten's a messy boy. He wants to swipe an item. I'm not saying Sten's a good guy. In fact, I think it would be tough to believe that Sten is a good guy, but he is an interesting character. So I don't know what the future is going to hold for him and his romantic interests. But I'm sure it's going to be messy along the way. But on that note, I'm going to leave these guys here and we're going to head back to the main family just to finish off with them and see how Edgar is going. Ignore the fact that there are some outfits missing from Sims who are just strolling across the world. So I will see you when we get back to the main family. I don't know if I said this already today, but Kenrick is going to stay here for now. And then next year he'll go and help out at Audrina's. He might, like, at the times that we're not here, he might be over there helping out. Audrina and Harper don't live that far away. We live up on this cliff and we can see their house from here. Yeah, they live just right over there. So it's not like it's a super long walk. It's a reasonable walk, but not a super long walk. It's manageable. Oh, Esmond. Somebody mentioned in the last episode that Esmond really seems like he's getting pretty forgetful as he gets older, and that he's, not quite as sharp as he used to be. And it made me so sad. I was thinking about it. I was like, oh no. Our old guy. He's been around since forever. He and Gree have been here pretty much since the beginning of the challenge. Gree was born... What? But Brown Hen's not that old, I didn't think. Dang. Gree was born in 1301. So since the second year of the challenge, she's been around. And Esmond was the second son. So I don't know how long he's been around. It's been a long time. Since almost the beginning of the challenge, maybe 1303 or 1304. But the idea that obviously he's getting older, he's an elder, but the idea that he's getting older and getting forgetful, sort of starting to lose himself. Oh, I don't know, it makes me sad. Kenrick is gonna stay busy for a minute. He's taking care of the animals. Actually, I don't want you to do that. Your brother can do it. You can invite your friends over. That way Kenrick can talk to his friends, make some friends, build up some relationships, that kind of stuff. Kind of want Kenrick to have a happy life as well. But of course, ever since the plague, I've wanted everyone to have a happy life. Oh, look, it's a bathroom party. Well, if you guys don't mind, after he's eaten, he's going to use the bathroom and apply some facial cleanser. Oh, another thing is that I'm waiting around for him to get through the mourning stage so that I can see if he gets a grief type. But it's lasting a little bit longer than I expected, maybe because we weren't here. So, I don't know. We really do have to pick up the pace with him. We have to get things going with him. Otherwise, before we know it, he'll be up for his young adult role and will have missed a large window of the time that he could have been having children. So it kind of puts us, especially with Kenrick only having the 4 baby tries, it just kind of puts us in a tougher position than I would prefer for us to be in. So I don't know. We'll have to make a decision. So you have to let me know. You have to. Should we choose from one of the ladies who were in his original romantic interests group? Should we have an arranged marriage set up by Henry, who still is our feudal lord? Should it just be somebody random? What do you think we should do about it? Because we kind of have to make a decision. So every spring we have to roll to see when the king is going to come, what week the king is going to come, I should say. And so since I play with 2-week-long seasons, that means the entire seasonal year is 8 weeks. So which week will he be coming? Week number 6. Okie dokie. And then we also get to re-roll for our gardening lot traits on a D8, where 1, 3, 5, and 7 means that there's no gardening lot traits. 2 means a crop's blight. 4 means great soil. 6 means a bug zone. That would be terrible. And 8 means poor soil. So which one will we get this time? Crop's blight again? Oh my gosh. So Edgar has gone into denial grief. Yeah, I have to say I'm not that surprised by that. Okay, let's see. If he stays in denial, his grief will evolve into anger or blues grief type, prolonging their grief. Dang. Okay, so I would say rather unsurprisingly, Edgar is in denial grief type. I'm not that shocked by that. I believe that that's kind of to be expected. So I guess on that note, we'll go ahead and leave these guys here. As always, let me know your thoughts and ideas in the comment section below, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye, everyone.